cities at that point in time.
There was a hay press barn on this farm.
Let him tell a story. Let him tell a story. He's trying to tell a
There was a
story.
hay press farm or barn on this farm.
There was supposedly
Yeah.
anywhere between 300 and 400 of them up and through the Ohio River Valley, and they were along the Ohio River for the reason of they would ship it up and down the river for transportation purposes. These bales would weigh anywhere from 300 to 400 pounds apiece, but it was a commercialized operation then. I mean, it was
How big the bale?
about 4 foot wide by
Okay.
3 foot by 3 foot.
Okay.
Damn.
But how they did this is in this, it was just kind of like Woody's barn you see up here,
Right.
Yeah.
but a little bit bigger. But it
So
was
like-
built in such a way that it was engineered that it had a 34-foot tall wooden contraption that actually stood
Got it.
upright in the center,
Oh, okay.
and it would raise a wooden block, or there's a wood block that would actually get raised into the ceiling, and
800 pounds.
around 800 to 1,000 pounds with this wood block. There's a rope that gets tied to it. It goes up around a pulley in the very, very top of the gable. Rope goes all the way back down into the basement because it was built into the bank of a hill usually.
Just like Teflon.
Yeah. And then there'd be a horse in the basement that actually, there was a 6-foot diameter wood wheel in the basement that the rope would cantilever around. And the horse would have a big sweep, a big arm on this wheel that it would hook to and go in a circle. And it would, then it would raise this block up into the air, 14, 15 feet, all the way up into the ceiling. And then all this loose hay had been accumulated in the barn, and then they would actually open up the chute and throw it in their pitchforks, and then they would communicate with one another, and they would drop that block and let it free fall, and that's how they compressed it in this
Yeah, they
chamber.
closed
So would it
they
be like?
threw the hay
So
in.
what would it be like? 10 bales of what's up there? now?
Probably not quite that much.
Yeah,
About
well,
6
300
bales.
Well,
pounds,
yeah,
300
probably would be
pounds.
somewhere
So
around
you
that.
could load it on riverboats easier, stack
Yeah.
it and ship it.
Yeah.
6, 7
Or
bales.
ship it up.
6, 7 bales.
Would you
Square
tie him
bales.
up?
There's
Yeah, and
actually,
then you had hay needles. And
yeah,
tie 'em.
they would use actually wire. I use twine nowadays. I don't have the wire bands, but
They used wire.
yeah, like a metal banding.
Okay.
Supposedly what it was used for. And there's actually slots with it underneath the big block that you could slide it through, and while it's still compressed, you tie it off, and then the horse has to actually get turned around, and it lifts the block back up, and then you can pull the bale out.
So it was a modern day round bale.
But